This is the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show where we talk about real life real estate situations, but we bring you real life real estate solutions. I'm your host, Glenn Glass, affectionately known as Mr. Dollar Out of a Dime. And our show today will have none other than the co-founders of Wholesalers R Us, Mr. Will Galloway and Mr. Tim Harvey will be joining us today. They're going to be sharing some amazing information about wholesaling and the business of real estate. We're going to talk some mindset stuff, partnerships, just great information that they're going to be sharing with us today. So without further ado, I'm going to bring these gentlemen on in. First, we'll have Mr. Tim Harvey join us. Good morning. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Great. Listen, man, I'm excited to have you brothers on here with me, man. Listen, I think you were one of the top 3 people that I first ever had on this show some 3+ years ago. You guys were definitely, I think you only were second to Keto because Keto had an event that was coming up. I think you guys were my second guest to come on this show, man. And I'm just, and we've done it a couple times since then, but I'm excited to have you guys on. Thank you for taking time out of your day. Out of making the tons of dollars that I know you could be making with this time. I appreciate y'all guys taking the time to come on with me, man.
Man, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate you inviting us, man. We certainly honored and we're certainly grateful, man, that you would even invite us to this show, man. As you know, man, you are our brother, and we certainly appreciate the opportunity. Of course, Keto's our brother too, so
absolutely.
We appreciate that opportunity, man. We just want to thank God, for even giving us this opportunity to even be here. So we're grateful.
Truly. Thank you. Brother Will. Can you hear me? I don't know if we got. Can you hear us, Will?
Sorry about that. I guess I was muted.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, we got you.
Yeah, appreciate it. So, just like Tim said, man, we're grateful to be here. Grateful for the opportunity to share this platform with our brother Glenn, who we've known for many years, and we've created like a brotherhood, and we're grateful, man. And of course, we want to give my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ all the glory for allowing this platform to be. So we're all brothers in Christ. I'm sure we can all agree to that. So, but yeah, we just want to provide some value, and thank you again for allowing us to share your stage.
Man, listen, I want to make sure the folks that are watching this show, man, or listen to this show, wherever they listen to it, that they truly understand, man, the connection that we have. This show is just as much my show as it is your all show, because when the brainchild of this came into place, man, you guys blessed it, and we prayed together, and you gave me your blessing, man. So for every time I come in front of an audience, man, and share the information that I share, especially on this platform, I truly want people to understand it's blessed by my brothers. And I feel like I'm a representation of who you are, man. So thank you for allowing me to be a student in the shadow of God, of the things that you guys do, man. And I certainly appreciate all that you guys contribute to the business that we do, man.
Well, we definitely say this: when any 2 or 3 come together in agreement, then it's a done thing. So
absolutely.
So here we are.
Absolutely.
Here we are a couple of years later, and we certainly see the testimony to that done thing, and and we're just grateful to be able to see that. So yeah, man.
Yeah, I just want to real quick. I just want to big you up, man, because we had a lot of behind the closed door conversations, us 3, and I just really commend you for just keeping it going, man, because the value that you provided to the community, man. I really think that they really needed it, man. I just applaud you for just keeping it going and keeping that message out there, man. So big up to you, to be honest with you.
Hey, listen, I listen, man, I know that the level that we have for one another, man. I know we could probably edify one each other all through the show. Hey, that's just the love and respect that we have for one another, man. So I just want to make sure the folks know, man, that that, you know, the level of respect that we have for one another is real, is genuine. You know, we just don't come on the show and share this just because it's something to do, but it's real stuff, man. But I want to get into, you know, some of the amazing things that you guys going on, man. I did an introduction, but I think the folks really need to know, man, the value. Shout out to John Stafford. Need to know the value.
What's up, Brian?
The value that you guys bring, man. Let's talk about first of all, I want to talk about who Will and Tim is. You know, what's your story, and then I want to get into talking about how Wholesalers R Us was born.
Okay. Well, you know, first off, man, you know, God is the head of our life, man, and you know, we're just grateful for that, man. But yeah, man, how we started, man, you know, I guess who I am, man, is, you know, I guess I've always been an entrepreneur. Even in high school, I mean, they called me the candy man. You know, I sold candy and all that good stuff, and you know, had people selling candy for me in high school. And
Oh,
then, you know, and then beyond that, you know, once I got to college, you know, my dad gave me an opportunity to start a real business. And, you know, he said, you can either go off to college or you can start a real business. And I decided to stay home and go to college at home and started a business. And the business I started was a vending machine business, and ended up with about 100 locations. You know, had people working with me, and just kind of, I had a successful run for a couple of years, man. But then I kind of, got ahead of myself, and ended up in corporate America, man. Ended up managing a restaurant, and worked the hardest that I've ever worked in that restaurant, man. I worked about 80 hours a week. Ended up managing the place, worked about 80 hours a week. And, I was just getting tired of it, man. I really want to get back out, and to be an entrepreneur again. And, a friend of mine came to me, man, and, we started an investment club. You remember the investment clubs earlier? Well, we started an investment club, but me and him had decided to go ahead and get into the real estate business. And with that being said, I quit my job. He quit his job. We both had good corporate jobs, so we didn't feel like, we were losing anything if we both quit. He worked at Coke, I worked, at the restaurant, so we didn't feel like we were losing anything if we both quit. So we both quit, and we got into a rehab project. Now, mind you, this is, before you had all kinds of training, YouTube videos, all that stuff. Only thing we had was a RIA, and the RIA tried, they were part of the ones selling us the project. So, ended up really, really just not having any success with that project. Lost money on the deal, but I was really hooked on real estate at that point. And started, I got into the business full time, and just winged it. Just winged it. I believe this is, something that God had blessed me to do, and just winged it. I want to spend more time in church. That was the reason I really had gotten out of the restaurant business, was because I wanted to spend more time in church. And God blessed that. So ended up, doing rehabs. This is back in the early 2000s. Ended up lending money. I became a mortgage banker. I did, I got into pretty much every aspect of the real estate business. I had a couple of rentals. And then in 2007, that crash hit. And, I don't know if you guys, y'all were like me, but, I didn't know what to do when the crash hit. I really didn't. I don't think I had any of the right people around me or anything that could tell me that, hey, you can make money, even after this crash. So I ended up leaving the business altogether, man, with, my tail between my legs. I just gotten engaged, and just, I didn't know what to do next. So I ended up, doing some, retail work. I worked in a jewelry store for a couple of years. God bless. God bless. I was able to do that. I learned a lot about that. But eventually, another friend of mine, and I've got some good friends. I'm just blessed. So another friend of mine came to me, and man, he said, "Man, I got this corporate job, man. It's corporate sales, and I know you could do it." So I went ahead and applied for the corporate sales job, and it was a blessing. But then that same friend, me and him both wanted to get back into real estate. He was in real estate before, too, like myself, and he sat in a cubicle ahead of me, right in front of me. We just, we both wanted to get back into real estate. We were both looking outside that window, and we just wanted to know how people, how are people out there moving around when we're sitting inside this job?
Right.
How are they doing what they're doing? So we wanted to get back out there and get back into the business. The bug just caught me again, and me and him, we just kind of mindseted our way into this thing. Ended up doing my first wholesale deal while I was still on the job, because we were actually going, in our lunch breaks, going out looking at houses. After work, we were driving for dollars, stuff like that, and ended up getting my first deal. While I was on the job, made $8,000 on that first deal. It was a JV, so joint venture with somebody else, a seasoned wholesaler. They knew what they were doing. I didn't know what I was doing, but end up making that money. I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? This is something else. Right? You know what I'm saying? So all this time, I wasn't really paying attention to my job the way I needed to, and that's just, it is what it is. So that time I ended up getting fired. He got fired first, and then I got fired. So it's like
best days of your life, huh?
two peas in a pod. You know what I'm saying? So when I got fired, it was a blessing. My boss was actually cool, man, and my boss was, he was the kind that knew what we were doing, and he held off for as long as he could. And finally, he said, "Man, I gotta let you guys go." Right. So he let me go. And he's a good friend of mine to this day, but he let me go, and it was just, it was a good thing. So that was the start of my the second part of my full-time real estate career, and just got into it full-time. Started doing a lot of short sales, which is, of course, when homeowners get in trouble before they lose their houses. So I started doing short sales, doing door-to-door short sales, and just started getting into wholesaling, big time. Didn't fully know exactly what it was, but I knew that I could make money on it, and I knew, I didn't have to hold these houses. I didn't have to hold on to these houses. Mm-hmm. So ended up doing short sales with the banks, and flipping them out to other investors. And then, a couple of years later, was just, doing a lot of wholesale deals, and didn't fully know exactly what it was. Say that again? Make money on it. And, oh, okay. But yeah, ended up just out there. And finally I was, in Clayton County, and I saw a bandit sign. And, you guys know what bandit signs are. Signs be out there on the road. I buy houses. Saw this thing that said Uncle Bill buy houses. and I called the bandit signs. I'm the kind of guy that will call a bandit sign. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's a deal, it's a deal. You understand what I'm saying? So called the bandit sign, and met this dude named Will Galloway. And we started, it's just one of those relationships, man. I was praying to God, man. I was praying to God for, because I had a partner, but I was praying to God for, someone that would have been aligned with me, with what I was doing, and where I wanted to go. And met Will. We didn't quite hit it off at first, but ended up doing a whole bunch of deals together, and became my friend, man, became my brother, and that's where we kind of started things. So I'm gonna let him go to his part, and we'll go from there.
Definitely, man. You want me just to, I'll run through my story real quick, so we can get to the show. But my background is a little bit different. I really never had a actual job. My history, not proud of it. I was in the streets, doing illegal activities. Won't get into details about that. But that's the life that was the environment that I've been raised around. That was what I saw. So that was the only thing I knew. But as I was in that lifestyle, I developed a go-getter hustler mentality, and I just felt like, eventually, I could take that same mindset and that same drive and put it towards something good, So it came to a point where, I just had to put that behind me, and I wanted to just get out of that lifestyle. And I wanted to, be an entrepreneur. I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but at the time I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So my first time stepping out on faith, I started a clothing store, and I started a barbershop because I grew up cutting hair. So I had that as like a side hobby that I was doing on the side. And you know, I started, you know, I opened up a barbershop and a clothing store, but it was along with another friend. But it wasn't just me; it was me and him. And you know, you know, the way we got it, it wasn't the right way. So of course, it didn't last. You know, so my first introduction to real estate was back in 2007. Around the same time, you know, this was around the same time I let those two businesses go. And I was watching HGTV, you know, like everybody, looking at the show saying, hey, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I want to do that what I see on TV. I want to take one of them ugly houses. I want to put some work into it, and I want to fix it up and sell it to somebody, and everybody happy at the end. Right. You know, and that was me. I wanted to do that, and actually I did do it. I at the time I had pretty decent credit. And you know, back then, back in 2006, 2007, I think they were giving loans to anybody. You know, I don't even think I think it was a stated loan where I really didn't show anything. So yeah, I got approved, and it was actually in Alabama. You know, that's another town near Dothan, Alabama, another town that I pretty much came up in, and had a lot of family and friends down there. So I found a property down there back in 2007. I did everything wrong. You know, I found the bootlegger guys who were just, doing jobs for a little bit of nothing, just doing enough just to get by, nothing was right. But one thing I can say is I had an eye for design. I had a vision always. I always had a vision. I knew how I wanted to look. So even though they didn't know what they were doing and I didn't know what I was doing, I knew if it didn't look right, I wanted them to make a change. So I got it to where it looked decent enough to put on the market, and barely from a hair, barely sold it because that 2007 started shifting over into the year of 2008, and I was luckily able to sell it before the market really crashed. So I got it off my hands and probably about made my money back. Maybe 5 or 10 grand, I think, but I don't think I made really too much money on it. But all the money that I invested to it, I got all of that back. And like I said, probably a little minimum, 5, maybe 10 grand. So what I did was I took that money, and I got scared of real estate at that point. When the market happened in 2008 and I barely sold that house, I said, what I'm seeing on TV is not really real life real estate. You know what I'm saying? Real life real estate. Real life real estate is when you getting out there and doing it. And
real stuff.
About losing money, and you run into a crash, you about to possibly not be able to sell this asset, and that's real life. You know what I'm saying? So I ran into that, and luckily, I mean, it wasn't up with God. I mean, I was able to get that property sold to a homeowner, and got it off my got it away from me, and got my my proceeds that I invested to it, because I was basically doing everything, straight out of pocket from money that I had put up. So what I did was when I sold it, when I got the money back from that, I took that and I invested to a nightclub. I bought a building in that same area down in Alabama. I still own the building to this day. And I got into the nightlife business. I got into the nightclub business because back then, I was a bachelor. I was still the single, bigelow guy who was ladies' man, you know what I'm saying? And I was still in that worldly lifestyle, and that's what I was about. About 2 years into the business, the business had its ups and downs, bringing artists and doing entertainment. That's just a whole nother lifestyle. That's a whole nother dynamic, trying to figure that market out, and within that time, about 2010-ish, around the time I met my wife, and my values and morals, everything just started shifting, and that was a time where I started really kind of feel like I was losing myself. I felt like this wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. So I eventually let that business go. Again, I still own the building, let the business go. And for maybe about, that was back in 2010. So from 2010 all the way through 2011, I really was living off some of the money that I had. I had started liquidating, selling stuff, have some money just trying to live off, whatever I could. And it was hard, man. I mean, it was really hard. Y'all laugh, man, but it was really hard. And I just remember, man, I was crying to my mom, like in tears, even crying to my now wife, she, my girlfriend at the time, but I was just like, I don't really know what I need to be doing. Like I was lost, I was stuck, I was crying. As a man, that's just not a position you want to be in, where you just don't know what your next move is, where your next dollar coming from, so I panicked, I said, I need to go find a job, I put out applications everywhere. Nobody wanted to hire me. Luckily, I did get an interview from Comcast, and they was actually gave me the job. But at the time, I was trying to align myself with Christ. Me and my wife had started going to church together, and we committed ourselves. We made a promise to each other that we were going to dedicate Wednesday Bible studies and Sunday church, and we're not going to let anything stop that. And Comcast, they could not, you know, they had a Monday through Friday schedule where Wednesday was I couldn't take that off because I said I can work any day but Wednesday and Sunday, so they wouldn't able to accommodate that time. So I didn't take the job, you know what I'm saying? So right after that, you know, that real estate bug came back in my spirit. How? I don't know. But it came back. But this time it came back because I researched what wholesaling was, and I never knew, like before that, back in 2007 when I did that other deal, I thought real estate was buy a property, take a loan, have your own money, you know what I'm saying? And that was, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't had no money, no credit, you basically couldn't do real estate, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what I was taught. That was all I knew, you know what I'm saying? So, because I never had the right people around me to kind of even knew how to do real estate, you know what I'm saying? It was always the traditional way. So I started learning this wholesaling concept, like, man, what this all about? You mean to tell me I can have limited funds and I can get in with probably no cash, no credit, and all I got to do is sign a contract? So I started digging a little deeper into that. In 2012, I took it serious. I stepped out on faith. My wife, you know, gave me her blessings, and I just hit the ground running, man. I just took a lot of action, made a lot of mistakes. 9 months into it, still ain't did a deal. You know what I'm saying? Was getting ready to quit, saying, hey, I guess this ain't it either. You know what I'm saying? Like, real estate stuff, man. Shoot, I really might need to call Comcast back and say, hey, is the job opportunity still available? You know what I'm saying? So I was just at that place. I was desperate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And luckily, man, guy, you know, a seller called me because I was at the time I was putting out bandit signs. I was putting out postcards, handwritten postcards. I couldn't afford to have a company pre-print them, you know, like I do today. I had to write them myself, you know, up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, handwriting until my hand was hurting. And luckily, I got a call from a seller that had got my car maybe 6 to 8 months ago, and they kept it. And they asked me, was I still doing business? And I was like, yeah, I am. And I hadn't closed not one deal yet. You know what I'm saying? I was figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I'm doing business. Like, how can I help you? You know? And, you know, they end up, you know, meet me at, they had 2 properties. They met me at both properties. You know, we talked, I think the husband, he, you know, was dying of cancer. So they had to liquidate some assets to get some money for medical bills. So luckily they, you know, we put both properties under contract. One of the properties went under contract with another wholesaler. I thought he was a buyer, but he portrayed himself to be a buyer, but he was another wholesaler. He ended up wholesaling it to another buyer, which is somebody we all know. And to this day, we all still cool. So he ended up buying it, and then the other buyer from the other property, I just met him, and we're still good friends to this day. And man, that was my introduction, man. I made $5K on one, $6K on the other one, but then between 2 weeks, and that was $11K, my introduction. So I was sold, you know what I'm saying? I hit the ground running from there, you know, start doing a lot of deals. So back in maybe 2013, 14-ish, around the time, you know, Tim gave me a call from one of my bandit signs, because that was what I was doing at the time. And I think God, you know, answered both of our prayers, because like he said earlier, he was praying for the right relationship. And at the time, he don't know that I was praying for the right relationship. You know, luckily, you know, everything was aligning. Like, he was removing the people that needed to be removed. He was bringing in and replacing the people that need to be replaced, bringing my wife in, bringing friends that was going to encourage me and who had the right mindset, who was going to direct me toward the vision and the path that I was headed down. And he luckily brought Tim to me, you know. And when we met, we just, like you said, we hit the ground running. We started doing a lot of deals together, and we learned partnerships early, you know, between me and him. And we just felt like we could take this relationship and what we've done so far and create a platform, which now is called Wholesalers R Us. And we started that back in 2015. And the sole purpose of that was like, man, we both got it out the mud trying to learn this real estate thing. And it wasn't a lot of resources. It wasn't podcasts, Facebook Lives, Clubhouse. It wasn't none of that, you know, free information stuff. If you wanted to real paying for a course, you know what I'm saying, you had to get it on YouTube, you know, and learn from YouTube on university. So we wanted to make something different. We wanted to create a platform where people could come together as a community, uplift each other, inspire, motivate each other, and do deals together. You know what I'm saying? Because we like to do deals with our friends, and we felt like if we could build a community of a lot of friends like-minded, that that community would, you know, it would be beneficial to everybody. So that was the birth of 2015, the birth of Wholesalers R Us, and we still at it, man. And yeah, I mean, we're grateful to be here, man.
I want to get into Wholesalers R Us, man, but I gotta say this though, man. Listen, we are the kids. We would be considered the kids. I don't know what generation they called us. We would be the kids that drank from the water hose. We would be the kids that rode our bikes in the street with no helmets on. We would be the kids that had to get home by the time the street lights come on, but we can go anywhere we want to.
I was just talking about that to somebody else. I was like, you know, you had to be home by a certain time.
Right.
Y'all wouldn't dare let you wouldn't let
light came on.
watch how to play with the kids in the neighborhood.
You got to be back in when the light came on.
Right.
Like we used to just go everywhere by ourselves and back home. But dude, you cannot do that today. That's crazy.
No.
So I'm saying that to say we will be considered those kids. Like we were the kids that played in the street. Like we would be. I'm talking as it relates to real estate.
Yeah.
So in those days where we were doing it earlier on, there was no Facebook. A very limited use of Facebook. You know, the kids were on the Facebook. We weren't on it. Instagram, they didn't have that. You know, it was so many different things that we were able to accomplish in real estate that we didn't have available to us then that we have now. You know, and one thing I want to make sure I point out, you know, and I know this is a real estate show, we're talking about real estate, but I want to make sure people get this. The two things that I certainly resonate with you brothers with. I met my wife when I was going through hell.
Wow.
I don't know what it is with these women, bro, but
you know what? And the reason why we was able to, and the reason why I didn't mean to cut you off, but the reason why we was able to marry them is because they've been battle tested. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Battle tested through our struggle, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciated that more than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Real stuff. And not only that,
know how to pray.
Listen, that's where I was going. The other thing that both of y'all pointed out that resonate in my spirit, man, and I hope people that see this or hear this really pay attention. The foundation of everything that we talked about as it relates to how we got to where we are, going through all the stuff that we went through, the foundation was our faith.
That's right.
The foundation of that is like, yo, it didn't work this time. I'm gonna go try it again. I had a problem with this one. I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
And trusting that process, I think, is what a lot of people that get into this business, they miss that. They figure they get hit upside. Well, I'll say it this way so they can understand. For those people that are old enough to get it, they figure off their bike without their helmet on. They don't want to ride the bike no more. They don't get that deal closed in the first 30, 60, or 90 days like the gurus tell them they're going to do. You see what I mean? Because what they don't take advantage of is first the faith that you have to be able to do a business like this, right? And you got to have that stick-to-itiveness, or it's going to be a situation where you'll never, ever be able to say, I did this for 10 years. Right. I did this for 20 years. You know, and I say that all the time when I tell people, yeah, I've been doing this for 22 years, but I don't say that to tell you that it's been great for 22 years.
Right.
A good portion of that, I caught hell.
Yeah. It's
but through prayer and sticking to it, man, you know, I'm still in the position to be able to say, I'm still here.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, man, because you know, I can't think of any, you know, like anything that's worth anything where you're not going to go through any adversity, and you know, like you know, getting to this point, you know, I personally have gone through adversity. You know what I'm saying? Like getting to this point, like even after I lost my job and found myself doing this full time again, you know, it was not peaches and cream like I thought it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like it was not as easy, you know, as I thought it was going to be. But, you know, but by the grace of God, I mean, you know, you can take whatever it is that you've done or whatever experience that you have in this business and show other people like, hey, you know, we got through it and now we got to it. And now we're on another side. And that's the blessing, you know, that's the blessing in it is like you said, that stick-to-itiveness. One thing I understand is that it takes about 5 years, you know, to really have success in business, you know, like any,
it's 10 years. It's supposed to be 10 years.
Right. So you know, I don't know why it's like that in real estate, where people feel like, you know, in order to, you know, have success, it should take a couple of months. You know what I'm saying? And or sustain success, should, I mean, it just takes time. I mean, it takes time because, number one, it's a mind thing. I mean, you've got to get your mind accustomed to doing this business and really doing it. You got to get your mind accustomed to seeing a lot of failure, to seeing a lot of, people say no to you. I mean, you've got to get your mind accustomed to it. So, it takes a minute. It takes a minute, really.
That helped me out a lot, man, too. Real quick, that helped me out a lot. Like when I was getting started, when I mentioned earlier in my story that I was getting ready to quit, the only reason why I didn't quit is because in the process of learning real estate, which I didn't know, I was preparing my mindset at the same time. So it's almost like it simultaneously got to happen because you're going on a journey, and while you're going on that journey, it's almost like you're going, somebody telling you to come to their house, you never been there, and you're going without a map, or you're going without a GPS, or you're going out without navigation, like you're going to get lost, so you have to have that, you have to be building your mindset as long as what you, while you're, trying to learn whatever it is you're trying to learn. So that's why, we're so big on mindset, all three of us, because we understand that that's what people are lacking.
Yeah.
That's holding them back from moving forward.
I want to talk about that, man. I want to get into what you guys do on Monday evenings. I want to definitely talk about that. But here's the thing that really got me. Early on when I was doing real estate, I can't. Listen. I would want to say I was blessed. I have to have been blessed. But I gotta say, I don't never use this term, but I was lucky. I was lucky because I made a ton of money and I didn't condition my mindset. Right? I just got into the business at the time where it was, I don't want to call it easy, but it was very simple for everybody, right? Yeah. Will said it earlier. They were giving loans to people just because they showed up with breath, right? They give you loans. So at that time, I guess I was fortunate. I call it fortunate because I was able to get loans to buy houses. I was buying so many houses, man. I didn't know what to do with them. Like I bought too many houses. The crews that I had to fix them up couldn't even keep up with me.
Yeah.
But here's the issue that I had. My mindset wasn't conditioned. Tim said it earlier also. So when that crash started to happen, I was like, what do I do? Like, I don't know. I wasn't. I didn't know. I'm like, okay, I made all this money. I guess that was cool. But what is it that I do now that I don't have anybody around me to tell me what to do? I was fortunate, Tim, you can relate to this. A few years later, to get around some people who helped me start to condition my mindset.
Yeah.
It helped me to see, dude, first of all, you missed it in that opportunity. You missed it in that time in real estate because if your mind was right, you would have quadrupled what you made.
Right.
Now you got to get your mind together. So I think that, listen, God has a strange way of doing something, y'all. I believe he set that time up. For me anyway, to get my mindset right. So when I got back into doing this, even though I faced obstacles at every turn, I would be ready mentally to be able to help myself make it through those challenges. What do you guys say about mindset as it relates to that?
One thing I will say real quick is I think also, and I'm not saying God is responsible for this, but I do think sometimes you got to lose it all in order to appreciate and get it back. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And that's a part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like every one of our stories, like it was a point where we lost at some point and we failed at some point. But kudos to us for just keeping it going. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the part you have to understand. Like the mindset is not being an expert real estate investor. It's being able to have the drive and the determination to say, well, no matter what I go through, I'm going to keep going. And I like I say, I was going to quit, but I think the only reason why I didn't quit because one, at the time I was, speaking affirmations daily. I was praying daily. So I was spiritually building myself up mentally too. But I just felt like, if I'm seeing other people do it, why I can't do it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if this person closed the deal, like if I'm gonna quit, let me close the deal and just say I did it, but I didn't really care for it, and let me do something else. This is not for me. But I would rather get it done, even if it was just one deal, than to say it doesn't work when you seeing other people are doing it and they being successful with it. So I think you have to understand that, I just wouldn't advise nobody to start into something and not go all the way to the end, you know what I'm saying? Because you just never know if that's what you really supposed to be doing or anointed to do. like, you know, all the blessings that's gonna come with just hanging in there, you know what I'm saying, and going all the way to the end and finishing, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I answered your question. I know you said something about mindset.
Listen,
You might want to jump in on that.
you hit the nail on the head, man. And Tim, I'll let you answer, but I want to transition into what you guys do on Monday night, because that is phenomenal. I had an opportunity. I always sneak in. You know, I teach a class on Monday night, so I'm not always able to get on. But I do sneak in and listen from time to time. And brother, listen, y'all, listen. I'm big on mindset, and y'all still blow my mind.
Well, I mean, and appreciate that, bro. I mean, it's the most important part. I mean, I just remember like when I was, when I was working, when I was working those 9 to 5s, I couldn't fathom, I couldn't fathom being free. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I had to condition I had to get my mind to that point. And that's why it took me a couple of years to even get back out here, is because my mind was set towards, okay, so now I'm making such and such, I'm making such and such, and this is where I'm at. And it took my mind, to get me out of that conditioning, because I have been conditioned to accept those limitations. And through no fault of anybody else's but my own, but I have been conditioned to accept those limitations, and I just thank God, it was the Holy Spirit, whatever it was, that just kind of shook me out of it and be like, no, there's more, there's more.
Right.
And you need to go and pursue more. And but you've got to get your mind prepared for that. You've got to get your mind prepared for abundance. You've got to get your mind prepared for overflow. I remember when I was on my job, the only thing I wanted to do was make what I was making on my job if I was doing part-time. That's all I wanted to do. I mean, I never thought I'd be a millionaire or anything like that. I just wanted to make what I was making on my job every month or every 2 weeks, whenever we got paid. So that was, that was the only that was the only mindset I had. And I had to really, really recondition myself to thinking abundance. And that's why we believe mindset is so important, is because you've got to recondition yourself to accept abundance. You've got to recondition yourself to accept that you can do a deal. You've got to recondition yourself to accept that, hey, I mean, you can do this business. So that's why we put the heavy emphasis on that.
It's that reconditioning, man. I think the challenge for many people, like, oh my God, you said something phenomenal, Tim. That was where it clicked for me. Like, I've been there for a long time. Like, since I got laid off in 2002, man, my mind, I had the idea, but I wasn't quite conditioned, right?
Yeah.
I hadn't been reconditioned. My mind said to me, I was making, in the position that I was in, the job that I was working, I was probably the least paid person there, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it wasn't that big of a deal, because I was making more than I ever made in my life.
Yeah, right. Right.
Like, some of these guys, they had been on to college, they got the degrees, so they were probably making double what I was making. But coming from where I come from, I was still doing good, right?
Yeah.
Because I was making more money than I ever seen. But I had gotten to a point where, well, in the beginning of working that job, I was conditioned to have that mindset to think that, okay, this is good for me. But as time grew on, and I started seeing people around me doing other things, what started making me think is, now I got this salary. And a year later, I closed in Atlanta, and I made the same exact salary on one deal that I was the whole year at the job.
Yeah.
And what clicked for me then was, like, I have been limiting myself to allowing somebody to dictate to me that this is what your life is worth.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that. I mean, like you are, like who you're around, you are who you're around. And if you're around somebody that tells you that, listen, you can make, and I remember when it was, like, it was just a thing to make 6 figures. You understand what I'm saying? Like if I can make $100,000 a year, if I can make, and nothing, but what I'm saying is, I mean, you accept limitations. You accept what people tell you. Like on my job, it was okay. Like, if somebody made 6 figures, it was like, oh my God.
Wow.
But it is what you are conditioned to think. And you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with however you're thinking. But if you've been pegged, and you know, God tells you to always go higher, then you know, guess what? You got to do that. That's what God's always challenging us. He's always challenging us to do more. So you know, you've got to do that, and then that's what it is.
Let's get to talking about the thing that you guys do on Monday night. But I want to say one more thing. I think with everything in the world that goes on, the person that hasn't reconditioned their mind is automatically conditioned to the things that bring about limitations. Think of it this way. The person who has never flown on a plane before is afraid to fly.
Right.
The person who has never been in a swimming pool is afraid that they'll drown.
Right.
But they do things daily that can cause the same kind of harm. They get in cars and they drive, right? They walk out the front door, right? So the things that are like extravagant, we'll say, like doing this business, doing real estate, you know, or doing most of the things that we are accustomed to doing on a regular basis, like you said, making six figures. Now, 6 figures is a good goal to shoot for.
Yeah.
Most people limit themselves and they think that they're less than if they don't make 6 figures.
Right.
So thinking like that doesn't even get them to the mindset of thinking 7 figures is even an option, right? They think, oh, I'm only making 60,000, I make 100,000, so $1 million is automatic. Right. But if it's been done before by people who walk with 2 legs, 2 arms, 2 eyes, it can be done again. That's all I want folks to know. But let's talk about I want to make sure I get this right because I get mine mixed up with y'all sometimes. When I say my Monday morning mindset makeover moment with $1 out of a dime, I have to make sure I'm listening to myself so I don't say the Monday motivational money making. Help me out, bro. Don't let me mess that up.
Well, we've kind of rechristened it. Motivational Mindset Monday, and the way that it happened was you know, simply this. I mean, me and Will, I mean, like when we started Wholesalers R Us, I mean, our goal was to help our community. You know what I'm saying? Was help our community, you know, do better. And it's actually taken on a couple of different phases. I mean, you know, the first thing we did, of course, you know, we started the meetup. You know, God blessed us to be able to do that, and you know, we were able to start the meetup. And then God said, "There's more. There's more I want you to do. You know, y'all ain't just doing no meetup." And so you know, next thing you know, we had to start helping people. You know, we were able to help some people get, you know, to 6-figure incomes annually. We were able to help a lot of people get their first deals done. You know, we were able to, you know, just help a lot of our partners, you know, through our partner program. So, you know, God kept on pegging us. He's like, you know, guys, I want y'all to do more. You know, I want you to do more. And so he took us on a journey as to where, you know, he's like, well, now you guys need to go ahead and start helping people with their mindset, because we understand that the limitations of people are their mindset. You know, people hate Mondays. So, you know, God, you know, pegged us to go ahead and start the money-making motivational mindset Monday. And, you know, it's taken on several incantations, you know, currently, you know, we're now on Clubhouse now. And you know, God blessed us, and, you know, God's blessed us. He's expanded it. You know, he is really just blessed it. We didn't know that we would, you know, that we would have this moniker as the Mentors of Mindset. We never even knew that. We just knew that we needed the mindset, and we knew that others would need the mindset as well. So it's a thing that it helps us every Monday. So as well as it helps our partners. So
my Monday morning mindset is all about me. Y'all hear it, good for y'all, but I'm talking about
you know, y'all are just invited along for the trip. So you know, every incantation of Wholesalers R Us, as God has always asked us to do more. I mean, you know, He's blessed us. I mean, He's asked us to do a dialing for dollars program. Yes. You know, the thing, you know, like me and Will, we did not have time. You know what I'm saying? Like the time is, you know, just hadn't been there. But God says, I want more out of you. And, you know, if this is something that you guys say you got to help your partners, and, you know, we got to do it. So, you know, he's just taking us, you know, along in steps to be able to help people and really be able to get this message of, of freedom through your mindset to the masses.
Real stuff, man. Listen, we coming up on our time, but we're gonna keep it rocking, man. We're gonna keep it. That's as long as y'all got time. But I want to say something. We got into the Monday mindset. I want to make sure we share with folks how they can get involved with that.
Yeah.
But the other thing that we just kind of glazed over Wholesalers R Us, right? We gotta get into that. Listen, because I want to make sure folks get who they talking to, who they listening to. This Wholesalers R Us, man. Ever since I was at the very first one, I
remember.
Now, ever since then, I don't think I've been to a Wholesalers R Us event that had less than 50 people, that had less than 60 to 100 people. Like y'all's event has been consistent over and over and over again. Right. So let's tell the folks about Wholesalers R Us, because I know it's coming back.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're still doing it.
So tell us how that was born. Yeah, the thing about it is like, I want to give a big shout out to our partner, our friend Frank Iglesias. Hands down, he's probably the first person I saw do a meetup in Atlanta, and one of the first meetups I went to was through Frank Iglesias. I know Will had went to the Frank's meetups as well. So we just want to give him a shout out. But I mean, we've been blessed. Will, you want to kind of go into the Wholesalers R Us part?
Well, when you do that, tell us how the name Wholesalers R Us came about, and then tell us about the event.
Go ahead, partner.
You know what? I kind of don't remember. I think. Well, let me just say this: when me and Tim decided we was going to do it, let me just say this: how it really started. Like we felt like we needed to bring value to the community again. It wasn't enough information being brought out at the time, so we wanted to create a free platform where people can learn and partner with us. You know what I'm saying? So really, it was just a way, like, we seen success partner with each other, so we was like, well, we built a community. Just imagine how many people we can do business with, and we can do it all together. So back in 2015, when we finally got serious, because for a minute it was just us talking about it, it wasn't no action. So we said, you know what, let's meet at Barnes & Noble. We met at Barnes & Noble, and we said, we're not leaving here until we get a date that we're going to commit to. At the time, we didn't have a location. So we said, you know what, we researched a couple of places. We seen that Piccadilly had like a little conference room. They said, as long as you eat, you guys can use the room. But that was no money out of pocket. So, we just went on and just did it, man. We got the spot, we secured the date, and we committed to say, you know what, we're going to start doing one every once a month, and we chose Saturdays because I think that day just worked for both of us. So, from 2015 all the way up until, maybe the last year or so, we consistently, we made within those time frames, may have missed a handful of them, but we rescheduled them on another days. But we were doing every Saturday. Like Glenn said, a minimum of 15 or more people coming in. And we originally started on meetup.com, which we built a lot of audience, a huge following on meetup.com. And then, of course, we translated over to Facebook. And then from there, we just kept going, man. And it just kept going. The word kept getting out. Man, Will and Tim, these boys are brothers in Christ. They're spiritual brothers. I want to do deals with them. I want to partner with them. I want to be a part of their community. And it just kept growing. It just kept growing, man. And we met a lot of great people, man. I mean, we met you. We met Deanna. We met Keto. I mean, a lot of the people that we consider brothers and sisters, I mean, if it wasn't for us putting that together, we probably would have never met, you know what I'm saying? So it really was a blessing in disguise, you know what I'm saying? So, and that, end up, going into the Monday call, you know what I'm saying? But the Wholesalers R Us name, I mean, when me and Tim met at Barnes & Noble, we put everything on paper, you know what I'm saying? We prayed about it, and, the name just came up. We went back and forth about a couple of names. I think Tim threw some names out there. I threw some names out there. And one of the names, which was Wholesalers R Us, it just really, to me, it just means that at the time we were wholesaling and we was about that life, you know what I'm saying? So it was like Wholesalers R Us, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's the life we in. This is what we're doing, what we present to the world. So this is us. We are wholesalers, you know what I'm saying? This is what we're doing. So it just kind of came together like that, man. We secured the date, the venue, and we haven't stopped since. You know what I'm saying?
Great stuff. Great stuff. He say y'all was about that life.
That
was us. That still is us.
In this deal, man, you got to be about that life. So let's talk about the Clubhouse platform. I talked to your brothers the other day, man. I'm still trying to figure that thing out. I created a group. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I created one. So how can folks? First of all, let's give folks an opportunity. Share your social media connections. Excuse me. Share your social media connection, how they can connect with you, and tell us how we can get involved in what you guys got going on Clubhouse as well.
Go ahead, partner.
Well, I mean, in order to get in touch with us, man, you can find us in different ways. Wholesalers R Us. Let me just start there. Well, Wholesalers R Us. We created a YouTube channel to where a lot of the content that we do on Mondays and a lot of the meetups that we had in the past, we put them into a channel. So if you guys want to subscribe to our channel, we'll definitely appreciate it. We're of course on Facebook. We have a Facebook group, Wholesalers R Us, and we have a lot of people on there. We actually got a group page and a fan page, and I think the group page, you can post deals on there. So if you got a deal or got a real estate related question, you can post that deal, or you can post that question on our Facebook page. And then of course, we just created a Instagram page. So we got a Wholesalers R Us Instagram page. So you can follow us on Instagram, and just like I say, we just started, thanks to Deanna. Shout out to Deanna, shout out to the Real Estate Talk group. She created on Clubhouse, which has been a phenomenal platform. And we've been leveraging that crowd and that audience, which has been a blessing. And but far as individual trying to follow us, I'm on Facebook, William Galloway, Instagram at Uncle Bill Buy Houses, and I think Tim, Tim Harvey on Facebook, who is Tim Harvey on Instagram. And if you want to get in touch with us, I mean, just reach out to us. The best way is to send us an email. That way, the whole team can see the email, and that's REI wholesalersorus@gmail.com. That's REI wholesalersorus@gmail.com, or you can just send us a DM, and we can address any questions or concerns.
Real stuff. This has been phenomenal, bro. What else do you guys want to share with the folks? I got a million questions that I could ask, but it would be for the benefit of the audience. But like I said, we've come up on our time, and I don't want to keep you guys. But what are some words of wisdom that you guys would share with folks that are looking to get started in this business, or even that are already in the business? What would you guys share with them?
Main thing is just know who you are. Know who you are. And then just find the right people to get around. Know who you are, then what you want to do, and then find the right people to get around. That's just the most important thing. So in knowing who you are, keep them calm. But just knowing who you are, and then just finding the right people to get around, and getting that information and taking action. Know who you are, find what you want to do, take action. That's it.
Real stuff. Will?
One of the first things that came to my mind when we were talking this whole time was, first thing you need to do is decide to take your life back. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by decide to take your life back, just understand that you may have been like all of us at some point where we were all lost. I think all of our stories, resonate to us being lost. And I think we just took the responsibility and accepted the challenge of taking our life back, meaning like willing to go above and beyond to seek our goals and dreams, and not take no for an answer, and willing to go through adversity and willing to go through challenges, not quitting, preparing our mindsets, building ourselves up spiritually and mentally. And like Tim said, surrounding ourselves with the right people, because until I start shifting my mindset, until I start getting around the right people, I was stagnant, and I didn't see any results, so I think, all of that go hand in hand. And like I say, take your life back, meaning like, accept who you want to be and become that person, that man or woman that you desire to be, and know that you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Just stay in faith about it. Trust God and know that he can give you the vision. He can give you the provision and the wisdom to do anything that you put your mind to. And, just don't take no for an answer. And just do it. Take action. Be consistent at that action. Don't just do it, but be consistent with it. Consistency always gain results. So as long as you do that, and again, get the right people around you, keep going. I mean, I don't see yourself, failing. I mean, it might be a struggle in the beginning. Like we've all had struggles in the beginning. Every one of our stories, we didn't get through the finish line smooth. It was not a smooth run. There was bumps in the road, but we kept going. We kept doing it. And here we are now, telling our stories and we all good, So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I would say. And if we can do anything to assist you or add value, just follow all of us. And I think we all have platforms where we're consistently trying to motivate and inspire people, And Glenn has done an awesome job with all the platforms, podcasts, this Wednesday show that he's been consistent with. I mean, as long as you follow this brother, you can't do nothing but go up, So I would just tell all his followers and everybody who's listening to him, just listen to his Monday motivational call that he do, and keep coming to the show every Wednesday, and keep supporting that brother.
And if he's coaching you, do everything he says.
Man, tell him again, Tim. Tell him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and we didn't talk about that. We ain't gonna get into that because that's a whole nother subject. But a lot of people do need a mentor. We didn't talk about mentorship and stuff like that, but a lot of people do need mentors. But the problem with that mentorship is it's so easy to get bombarded with all this social media guy, all this stuff that's going on, following this person, following that person, looking at this person doing. Like if you got somebody that you've been committed to, especially if you've been invested to, listen to what that person say. Don't go out listening to this and trying to compare the way this person do it compared to the way that person do it. Listen to what's proven.
Definitely.
Listen to what's proven and follow that guideline, and yeah, I'm glad.
I mean, don't get confused by different messages or anything like that. I mean, if you've committed to somebody, listen to that person through and through. If they've done what they need to do, so just that's all I got to say about that. Yeah,
I remember when I was little, man. When I was a little kid, I got so hungry I ate a big bowl of corn, and the corn started coming out my nose. And my auntie said, "Listen, if you eat that much corn, you got to eat it this way so it won't come out your nose." So if you got somebody, everybody can eat corn. I'm just gonna use this reference. Everybody can eat corn, but if you don't want it to come out your nose, you got to eat it the way the person that's showing you how to eat it. So it doesn't come out your nose. So I said that to say, if everybody can do things, everybody does things, but people do them in certain ways. If it's working for the person that you have teaching you to do it the way that they're telling you to do it, so that you can accomplish the things that they've accomplished. I want to say one thing that I got to give a shout out to my brother Andre Gaskins. He said something at an event that I was hosting. He said you have to be willing to die so that you can live to be the person that you're supposed to become.
That's good.
I don't know why that's continuously ringing in my head. He said you got to be willing to die to the person that you are or the person that you used to be in order to live to be the person that you want to eventually become.
Maybe that's kind of similar to what I was talking about too, about get your life back. You know what I'm saying? Because get your life back means at some point you might die, and you have to accept your real life or who you're really supposed to be. Yes. Because I don't think in the beginning we are who we're supposed to be. And we have to get our life back and claim that person that God has us to be. God has a purpose for all of us. We have to take that life and accept that life and be that person, and not the person that's kind of in that stuck mentality. You know what I'm saying? Really? So maybe that's related to what I was saying earlier. That's
exactly. That's probably why I was in my head. I'm like, I can't get this out of my head. One more thing, guys. We didn't talk about dialing for dollars. I want to make sure you share with the folks how they can get involved in that. And what you guys got going on with that. Is that something that you have?
You want to talk about it, Tom?
Yeah. Our Dialing for Dollars program. It's a program that we consider very important. We consider our No Excuses program. It's a 100% free program. We provided the dialer. We provide the infrastructure. We provide the back office. We provide a CRM. We provide us. We got about 30 years worth of experience. And if you want to get partnered up with our Dialing for Dollars program, where you get we got unlimited leads, and you get unlimited leads. And simply by getting somebody interested in selling their house, you can partner with us, and we'll do the rest. So that's our Dollar for Dollars program. If you're interested, then definitely give us send us an email to reiwholesalersus@gmail.com. That's reiwholesalersus@gmail.com.
Is that something I can get signed up?
And real quick, and the purpose of us creating that, just real quick, Glenn, the purpose of us creating the Dollar for Dollars program was because we got tired of the excuses. You know what I'm saying? Like, we call what we do the no excuse zone, meaning, like, most of the objection a newbie would have is, I don't have no leads, or I don't have marketing dollars, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the resources, I don't know what attorney to use, I don't have the right contracts. So we try to bundle all of those objections all in one, and we try to figure out a way that we can create something to where it eliminates all of that. So we created, this system. It basically eliminates all of that. Like, we have the infrastructure, we have the leads, we have the resources, we have the contracts. You have access to us. It's nothing else that you would need that you can make an excuse about not getting started. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, like, you can come in, entry level, and not have to come out of your pocket. We ask that you commit the time, the drive, and be determined to do it. And that's it. And that was the purpose. That was kind of like the purpose of it. Just eliminate all the excuses that newbies have, or people that's getting started have, and allow people an entry level way of getting involved, get into the business. So yeah, that's it.
Man, listen, I applaud you, brothers, man, for all that you do. You guys have been pillars of the real estate investment community, man, for as long as I've known you. And you guys are always giving back, always contributing, always, helping people get through their journey. I learn a lot. I still learn a lot from you guys. I'll be peeking behind the curtain, a little bit of what you do. So anybody that's listening to this or watching this, definitely connect with these guys. They have some awesome information that's consistent. That's one of y'all said it earlier. The information that you guys share has been consistent. And what you do is continuously go and taking it to the next level. And I wanted first, be the first. I know many other people applaud you, but I want to applaud you, man, to tell you guys thank you very much for what you do. I'm honored and humbled to be connected to you, brothers, man. And let's continue to make this thing happen.
Thank you, brother. We're honored to be connected to you. Thank you so much for all that you do. And thank you for just setting an example for everybody out here on how to do this thing, especially with these podcasts and all that good stuff, man. We can't wait for what's happening next.
Thank you, brothers. Thank you. So listen, one more time, tell the folks how they can get in contact with you, either via email or your social media, whichever you want to share.
REI Wholesalers R Us @gmail.com. That's REI Wholesalers R Us @gmail.com. That's going to be the best way to get in contact with us. You'll come into contact with our back office, and we'll make sure we get back with you ASAP.
Okay. Can they reach out to you guys via that email to get on the Monday night?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
As well as the Dollar for Dollar, they can get connected that way as well, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have some people that have put their names in. I don't know if they're trying to say that they want to get connected with you guys. Charles Adeco and Terrell Slater.
Yeah.
Certainly reach out to Tim and Will if that's what I guess that's why the names in there. But listen, guys, thank you again. I want to give you an opportunity. If there's anything you want to share before we get off today?
God bless you guys. We love you.
All right.
Again, Glenn.
Man, listen, thank you guys, man. Again, I can't, like Tim said, for you guys, I'm excited to see what y'all got coming up, man. Y'all always going to the next level. And like I said, when folks ask me, how you do so well in what you do, I say I watch Will and Tim.
Watch God. Thank you.
Hey, listen, I love how you guys lead with integrity, man, and always putting God first in what you do. So when and I'll be real, and it just I made a joke, but keeping it 100. When it's brothers like you that I know you lead with integrity, I know you lead with putting God first, and I know you lead with love, man. It's easy to follow you. You know what I mean? I don't years of experience, and all of that goes out of the window. What I know, what I think I know, all that goes out of the window when following guys like you. When I know that you lead the right way, You know, so again, I salute you guys and continue to do what you do. The world is watching.
Always.
All right.
Thank you, brother.
Thank y'all
Appreciate
again. This has been the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show, where we talk about real life real estate situations,
it.
your real life real estate solutions. Look forward to seeing y'all soon.